Now I can play.
Alrighty, we are live. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, June 6th, and it is raining out. It's not Friday, it's Saturday.
It's
Thank
Saturday.
you. Wow. I'm just going to drink my coffee, and I'll let you talk, Thomas. How about that?
All right, it's Saturday, June 6th. Welcome to the show.
He is way more enthusiastic than me.
Yeah.
Wow. You've done, well, you're high on pre-workouts, so apparently,
Yeah,
whatever.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I got the jitters.
Yeah. All right. So, welcome to another Get to Know Music Person. And today I have on Thomas Fortin, who is a drummer local to are you originally from Camrose?
From Wetaskiwin.
From Wetaskiwin.
But I moved to Camrose. Yeah.
It's close.
I like Camrose a lot more.
You should not. I have people. What? Why would you?
I take that back.
Okay.
They're
Anyhow.
both the same. They're the same.
Oh, you can't. That was just like a very direct statement. Anyhow, so Thomas is local to the area. We'll say the Battle River area. And he plays with a few bands. City Strays is one, and 103 Cublic Inches is another. You can find him. There's stuff in the description. You can check him out there. But we're just going to be chatting today. He plays drums, so I like drums. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about other things and get to know Thomas. So how's it going, Thomas?
Good. Really good. It's a
Good.
nice Saturday. I'm enjoying this beautiful sunny day,
I think,
as you can see.
yeah, I'm looking. It's not. I mean, my dog hates
Rose-colored goggles on right now. So
Fair enough. And you're sitting in your studio, like the jam space.
Yep.
103 uses that jam space. Is that
Yes. Yeah.
You might be able to hear the echo if you're paying attention.
Yeah, it's not the greatest sound.
It's okay.
So there's a lot of concrete walls.
I can only imagine how loud it must get, though. If you're playing like hard rock, like
Yeah.
do you wear protection for your?
I use in-ear monitors.
Okay, that'll help.
So yeah, I can turn everybody down and me all the way up.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, you guys have to follow me because I'm the drummer.
Yeah.
That's
I'm the most important part.
Well, yeah, everything falls apart otherwise. So let's start off with let's start off talking about 103 first. So you're currently playing with 103 Cublic Inches.
Yeah.
Who's in that band?
We got Mark Clark, Dr. Mark Clark. You know, he's a hardened biker by night and a doctor during the day. Got
Okay.
We got Andy Johnston, lead vocals, and Jim Zubkowski.
Okay.
He's a seasoned vet, I guess. We got Mr. Bond, Mike Bond on bass, and we got me on drums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So a nice 5-piece.
Yeah, and so I mean, currently you're kind of on hiatus, sort of idea with can't really perform. But are you guys still rehearsing at all or trying to?
Yeah, we're practicing.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to record all the songs that we're practicing,
Okay.
just so I could work on my recording abilities, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And so have you guys, like, since it started with the distancing though, were you able to just keep going, keep working on your stuff?
There was about 2 months where Andy wasn't able to come.
Okay.
So we would play maybe like once every 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. See. Oh.
But now we're going.
How often?
Now we're going strong again.
Oh, how often?
Yeah. Once a week for sure.
Well, and you guys have the space though. It looks like from what you showed me, like it's
Yeah.
a decent amount of space, so you can spread.
It's a
out
big
if you
room.
need to.
Yeah.
Last Saturday after I streamed, I went out to a barn and jammed with Steven Olson and his brother, doing some rockabilly stuff. So, I wish I could do that more, but like Steven's now out of town doing his work of bird. I'm going to call it bird watching. So Steven, I'm sorry if I call it that. No, it was, I mean, it's stuff I missed, right? Like playing with the big band and stuff. It's when you have that many people, it's a lot harder to spread out. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so go ahead.
The less people you have, the more intimate it is.
And then you can be like 20 feet apart if you have a space like you have right now.
Yeah.
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 All right. So, and other than, okay, so there's that band that you're the current band you're playing with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so City of Strays, tell me about that one.
City of Strays was a band that I played with years ago through high school, and I don't know, we kind of separated, but now it's coming back together. It's like a side project.
Okay. And are you all like friends from high school sort of thing?
Oh yeah, we're still good friends. Yeah.
Somebody wants to know, Melanie Jill Music, whatever, counseling, my sister, I can make fun of her, wants to know what the band name means, City of Strays.
Oh.
Or both of them maybe eventually, but City of Strays, we'll start with that one.
Dawson, the guitar player in City of Strays, he was reading, I think it was a National Geographic on something, and he just saw City of Strays. It was like a city full of stray dogs, and he's like, I kind of like that name. So we just kind of used it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you come up with names. You can think too much about it, probably.
Yeah. There's no real big meaning to it. Just that's it.
That sounds cool. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Sometimes it's just the name of the band, and if you can hang on that, and like if you like what it is, then hey, works for you.
Yeah.
And this is just pretext, but I forgot about. I'm like, what was the band name? And I kept like, Stray Cats just kept coming in my head. So then you talk about dogs. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe you're a cat person.
I'm a dog person. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's just I'm a Brian Setzer person. I think he's just crazy on guitar. Anyhow, and what about one? Let's talk about 103. 103 Cublic Inches. What about that name? Where did that come from?
So from what I was told, because I joined the band later on, before it was started, what I was told that Mark, he had a bike and his engine size was 103 cubic inches.
Okay.
And yeah, that's the story to that.
Okay. So are you the original drummer then for them? Or
no, there was one before, but he moved away.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Rob McMillan says the more opportunity to converse in smaller groups, just like talking in groups. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. So like you're in a 5-piece. What was City of Strays? What was that one?
3-piece. That was a 3-piece.
And that can be really tricky because one person's, I mean, I kind of like smaller because then you're almost more responsible for your role, but at the same time, you're more responsible for your role. So
I think it almost makes you a better player too.
Yeah.
Because you have to put out a lot more.
Yeah. You can't rely on the shoulders of someone else is playing or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're more isolated. I mean, the best example, talking even with Dan last week, like Rush. 3-piece band. I mean, I don't think your drum kit's that big, but
not quite.
Like
maybe one day.
maybe
if I get
$1,000.
Yeah, or I get really famous and get endorsements and get it all for free.
Yeah, all for free. Selling out to a company. Come on, man, you can't sell out. Wait, what's your?
You
hat?
always got to sell out.
But what's your hat? What's your hat?
This is a Moretti Mazak hat because I'm a machinist. That's my profession.
Okay.
And Mazak it's a machine company, I guess.
Okay. I just was using that to reference selling out, but never mind.
I'm just a walking billboard.
Well, I mean, I've got the Fender shirt, so it's fine. So both those. So let's go back to the City of Strays. So you guys were high school. That's Wetaskiwin High School, right? Like the
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Were you guys like in band or anything for that? Like back in the day, were you in band?
I was in jazz band in
Okay.
7, 8, and 9. I was a trumpet player.
Right.
So yeah. I don't know, I was pretty good. Or at least I thought it was.
And then
I
you
did.
switched to drums?
One of the people that I was playing with at City of Strays in like grade 8 knew that my sister had bought a drum set. And he's like, you should play it. You should play it. You should buy it from her. So then I got a job at Dairy Queen so I could buy the drum set from her. And then the rest is history. Started playing then every day.
Nice. And then just the trumpet.
Just put that aside.
And I mean, Rob, who's coming on probably in a couple weeks, but he's in the conversation too, it looks like. He's a brass player, so you got to be careful.
I just got rid of my trumpet too.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Like last year, yeah.
How did you get rid of it?
I just gave it away.
Oh, okay.
Somebody needed one, so you can have mine.
That's perfect. He gave it away.
Yeah.
Nice person.
Well, I wasn't playing it, so
yeah. And sometimes
it's just taking up space.
That's how I feel too. Some of my stuff, I'm like, yeah, somebody take it if they want. That was the whole kick to the curb thing. If you wanted to get rid of stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And so you guys were high school band. How long did you guys play together?
5 years, maybe.
5 years? Okay.
But we also went through a transition. We played hard rock, metal, blues. We played a lot of styles of music.
Yeah.
We just couldn't find our niche.
Right. And so was it a lot of... There's a clip we're going to listen to later that's from that band, though, right?
Yep.
That you consider it's from that band. That is original, but was the band mostly originals or covers or mix or...
We were mostly originals, but we'd throw in some cover songs to fill up some space.
Okay. And would you do some of that writing then? Or who was like...
Dawson would be the main writer.
Okay.
And like, man, he's like a musical genius. He just makes songs. He tabs everything out, just makes it in like 4 hours. Here's made a whole song.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's got like hundreds of songs tabbed out already.
Man, I mean, I have respect for those people who can do that. Like there's some people that are just like, they're happy, like they can figure something out and they're happy with it and everything. It's easy peasy for them. I get really critical of myself and I just can't do it. So like, I'll be like, I hate these words. Ugh. Or, I don't like the melody I wrote, something like that. And I have to change it and I just throw it away after a while.
That's exactly what I do. I always change up the songs that I play.
Yeah. It's
like, I'm never happy with the drums.
Yeah. I mean, that's where, of course, like you sent me the clip that you recorded, but you recorded that this week. And there's things like you can watch a clip like that of something you recorded previously and just be like, oh, I see where I could have, pushed this a bit more, or like followed some of these hits, or you just always see something you can change. But songwriting, I just can never understand those people. I wish I could understand songwriting people. Some people are great at it, like amazing at it. I think I can do words. Depending on mood, though, they won't be great. But sometimes just finding a groove that I like, because your drums, right? Finding a feel that suits the words is important.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, combining it with the bass player or something too, and having just a solid feel that you're like, it suits the words. It isn't like a happy, cheery, bouncy melody, and then all of a sudden it's just dark death words, darkness, whatever. And so you mentioned that you had played with that band, City of Strays, in the Battle of the Bands too. That would be hosted here in Camrose.
Yep.
Did you play at any other events like that, or?
In Camrose, no.
No.
But we've played in Edmonton a couple times and Wetaskiwin a few times.
Okay. But yeah, that's one thing I just want to talk about. Like, what do you think about the idea of Battle of the Bands? Like, do you miss that it's not here anymore? Because you were a participant in that. Like, did that how many years?
I didn't like it because I never won. I did it for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
But isn't that?
But it was a lot of fun because it gives you an opportunity to play.
Yeah. But that's the audience fault if you don't win, right? Like it's up to their cheering or something. Is that?
Yeah, there was a judge panel.
Oh, there was? Okay. So you have to bribe the judges more, I think.
Yes, that would have helped. But
no, but I like the idea of excuses to play, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes paid or not, sometimes it's just playing. I mean, it's nice to get paid as a musician, of course, because you know the cost of gear and stuff. Your drums probably, you know, you break a skin, you drop a drum or something, break a skin that way. It's not fun.
No,
tightening and loosening screws, you'll have to replace them over time. And so getting paid is nice. But like currently, I think it's almost trying to find more excuses to play because at least you get the chance to play with the guys, right?
Yeah.
In the other band, 103 Cublic Inches. So is there any, like, what are your thoughts currently on sort of, I guess, the live music situation? I know some people, a local person, Travis Dolter, he's doing like a drive-in concert at the CRE, I think on the 19th or something. And so what are your brainstorming here? What are your thoughts on the future of live music? Go.
I have no idea what to think about that. It's kind of scary because I can't picture not having a big crowd all close together in front of you. And then, I don't know, you have that interaction with their people while they're dancing and having fun. Is there going to be less of that?
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, it makes it hard. And this isn't like to make it political or anything, but it's hard when you see people protesting, of course, like the close quarters, but it's like, like that's kind of like what your crowd is when you're a band. Like you have people in front of you close and like cheering and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's like, I don't know have you tried any online concert type things at all?
No, we were thinking about it, but
yeah.
I'm not too comfortable with recording everything on the floor at once.
Okay. Right.
So maybe in the future.
But have you, like, both ways, like either performing in the concert, or have you even tried, like, have you watched any so far? Any live concerts at all?
I always watch YouTube live concerts, but no, not nothing recent.
Okay. Because it is a strange thing watching people, because that interaction isn't there. I think the best example of that is if you watch any sort of, I'm not into like late night comedy anymore, but watching them and they don't have their audience to like feed off of, so their jokes fall flat, and you're just like, ooh, they need their audience. And am I
supposed to laugh? I don't hear a laugh track.
Exactly, and I think but for a musician, like having that crowd like clap at the end of the song, like you do your, like people cheering as maybe you're doing a drum solo or something, like they're like, yeah, go Thomas, and then it's all of a sudden, but that's not there, and you're like, well, where's my energy? It's that there's that definite disconnect. You see people in the chat being like, go Thomas, but it's like, it's text.
It's not the same.
No. But I do think it's interesting having again, there's like a drive-in concert is kind of cool. I think it's kind of neat, like people stay in their vehicles. I do want to do what we did last summer. You came out for one of them, the jams at the gazebo. I think we could probably get away with something like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
I think we could get away with it.
Yeah, why not?
If we spread out more, like we don't like crunch in, we spread out in the gazebo, I think it'd work. People could hang.
We can bring a tape measure.
Yeah, exactly. But I some of these things I think could still work. As much as I would think about doing a live concert, like a live stream concert. Again, you don't have the audience to like. I'd rather go stand out in front of like one of the senior homes in town and play than just do it in my garage or something. So, So, let's talk quickly about, not quickly, let's talk about your drums. So, how long have you been playing drums then? You said back in like, you were trumpet.
Grade 8 when I started. So I'm 27 now. I was 13 then, 12, 13.
Okay. Great.
I think that's the right age, yeah.
Yeah. And did you have any formal training, like from like when you started? Did you have any?
When I started, I thought I was too good for lessons. No, I don't know why I even thought that way. I was pretty naive about it.
I mean, it happens. I teach enough little kids that it's like,
It's like, why do I need to know that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care what a double paradiddle is.
Yeah. Well, why do I have to do single strokes all the time?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow, but so you started grade 8, and so you just kind of self-taught?
Yeah, I would just play along to music.
Okay. And when did you start kind of getting more pushed into it? Because you're somebody who's pretty hardcore into it now, right? Like you look for things to
probably when I was 21, that's when I started taking my first lessons.
Okay.
I saw Benny Greb do a drum clinic. I was like, holy man, that was amazing. And it just like, I know nothing about drumming. And it just kind of opened my mind. I was like, that's it. I'm diving in. Yeah. And yeah, just going hard, taking lessons ever since.
Well, and it's definitely a thing where, I mean, with any instrument, but I find drums to be crazy because the difference of being a purely rhythmic instrument, you have to make it, if you want to be it solo, you make it your own. It's a rhythmic, you almost develop your own melody, I guess, through that. Like sense of melody and tone. So, okay. And then, so you've been playing with the band, then you went to Cublic Inches. Now, through that, where would your influences be with drums then? Like, did you have, even starting, like, where did you think that drums were cool?
Oh, man. Chris Adler from Lamb of God. You ever heard of Lamb of God?
I've heard of them. I haven't.
Have you ever played Guitar Hero and you play the song Laid to Rest?
Maybe. I was only into Beatles rock band though, so.
Oh, well, that was okay. Sure. Ringo Starr, yeah, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Not a huge influence on me, but
no,
it's Ringo Starr. Everybody loves him.
Yeah, and sometimes you pat him on the head with that, but I mean, it's he different as voice. So, but for you, like, who else? Like, so was that like the start, or who else have you kind of found that?
Andel's hair. Like, I was extremely into metal. So there's Chris Adler, Andel's Herrick, Vinnie Paul from Pantera.
Okay. Like,
those were the guys that I would just idolize. And then I started taking lessons, and then it was more into like funk and fusion, like Dave Weckl and Benny Greb, Vinnie Colaiuta.
Nice. I've always been into Dave Weckl stuff because he does weird stuff. I like it.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
He does some interesting, like some of actually how I do my ride cymbal I took from him, like how to be relaxed and yeah. But
yeah.
So it's just anyway. Who else do you like?
Man, there's so many. And then I started getting into like the classic 80s rock, 90s rock.
Okay.
So it was like Tommy Aldridge, Robbie Rondinelli, Carmen Appice. There's so many.
Carmen Appice too. He's the guy who like wrote a lot of the drum books that people use these
days. Yeah.
Modern. What is it? What's the big one? I can't.
Yeah. I'm on the spot here.
It has the ugly painting of him.
Yeah.
Modern Drummer's Cookbook. I don't know. That's a different one.
That's a different one, but that's another one. I think I have that book actually.
Yeah. But yeah, he did a lot of writing, like actually notating things, and a lot of those books are used. But yeah, like I've always been into like the old. I like the guys with the fast hands, like the.
Yeah.
But the most recent thing listening to some like Buddy Rich versus Gene Krupa stuff. That stuff's hilarious.
I have some of those CDs.
They're so crazy.
Buddy Rich versus Max Roach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're good. And then you actually influenced me into getting into the jazz.
That's good.
Yeah, because I was taking lessons from you, and I was like, oh, this guy likes jazz music. All right, so do I.
Well, you were a metal person. I'm like, I don't know what to do with metal. So.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was.
Go ahead. I'll let you keep saying it was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. No, like it opened myself up to more things, more options, more sounds on the drum set.
Well, and that's where I think taking lessons from other people, like even for myself, I think it's really important just to be open to new ideas rather than doing what I think a book wants to tell me, or like taking ideas from somebody else, because they'll be into different genres, they'll be in different things, and show you different ways of thinking about drums, and be like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like again, there's a few times I've watched them just sticking videos, like how to do single strokes, double strokes. I'm like, oh, that makes things a lot easier. I have to practice that. Like it just seemed like it would be easier, and it helped me develop my more solid double strokes.
Yeah.
Like that. So I think it's important to get into things, and I've always liked the old guys because they had like no drums. They had to deal with what they had,
Yeah.
And like the recording process wasn't there. There were like no mics for that sort of thing. So some of the recordings are just whatever the room mic was, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's then get into like what are your drums? What's the drum kit he's sitting at a drum kit right now? I know that. What drum
So I have a late 80s Pearl MLX kit.
Okay.
This drum kit's like over 30 years old.
It's not that old.
It's in sheer okay, well, whatever that is.
Go ahead.
But it's in sheer blue. It's a beautiful kit, and this was the top of the line kit back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you get that one?
I bought this one off Kijiji.
Okay.
I saw it and I was like, I just fell in love with it. I was like, oh yeah, that's a nice kit.
That's the drummer's friend is Kijiji. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And so what skins? What skins do you like?
I use Aquarian.
Okay. You have to describe those because people are like, what are you talking about?
Should I show you? I could show you.
You have to describe them. You can't show them.
Okay. All right. I can't show them.
Describe
them.
Yeah. Pretend everyone's blind. This is a podcast now.
Yeah. I don't know. Skins are the things you hit. You make noises with.
So, I mean, let's just talk about that. So skins, I mean, there's different materials, right? There's different plies, the number of stacks sometimes, or the thickness of each ply. Some skins are pretty much plastic or synthetic, right? And then some have coating on them. Some have like out rims. Some have dots. Like there's all sorts of things with skins. The weirdest ones and I thought they were kind of cool at the time, were the hydraulic gloss from Evans.
Oh yeah,
the oil inside.
Yeah,
those
look cool.
They would deaden your toms like crazy.
Yeah,
which wasn't great for live, but for recording it was good. So, and skins, they're kind of like, they're flat on top and then they go down into like a rim. And so you have to tighten them and they pull down. So talk about your skins. Go.
Mine are 2-ply. I have they have a sound ring on them.
Are top and bottom the same? Like, are they the same type of skins, or bottom or different?
The bottom, I use a 1-ply. It helps to resonate a little bit more when you hit the drum. Yeah.
See, everybody, it's important to have both skins. Yeah. So, and so top and bottom, and do you tune them differently? Like top versus bottom?
I tune the bottom pretty high.
Okay.
And I don't know. I like the top skin pretty loose, so it doesn't ring too much.
Well, yeah, and honestly, sometimes I find the way I tune one drum tom will be like, as in like, not, I'll usually the same set, I'll tune all the same way, but sometimes I find certain toms, they just don't want to be tuned like top high or bottom high, resonant side high, batter head low. They want to be like the same or something, just because it's the way the drum likes it. I don't know. It's the way
every drum is different.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
You got to find that sweet spot.
Totally. It'll just it'll ring, it'll sing. It's a strange thing with drums, and nobody cares usually except the drummer.
Yeah.
And definitely you can hear it, like if there's beats in the air, like if you hear conflicting frequencies, just in the drum, that means it's out of tune, and you hit it and you hear warbles or something. That means something's out.
Warbles.
Warbles. Yeah.
That's a good way to describe it. Yeah.
I mean, I like the conflicting frequencies but I mean, people will be like, what are you talking about? But it definitely, that's when it's out of tune. And so, you'll see the drummer use their key and just adjust little things just to fix it. But honestly, there's probably times they're like, I just need to take this skin off and put it back on. And
yeah, it's painful. Start over.
Now, the heads you're using, are those Remo then?
No, they're Aquarian.
Aquarian, like that's the brand?
That's the brand, yeah. Oh. You never heard of Aquarian?
I've never heard of Aquarian.
It's one of the top 3 because there's Remo, Evans, and Aquarian.
Yeah, I don't go with Aquarian.
It's a smaller brand.
Okay. And even Remo, I don't know all their different, like the Emperor Ambassador heads and stuff. I'm just not as fluent with their stuff. Evans is what I've been using for years. So
yeah,
I like them, but
yeah, they work. They work just fine.
Totally. Aquarian. So that's something I'll have to look at. Go ahead.
They're actually cheaper than all the other brands. Okay. Same quality.
Okay. Totally.
Yeah.
Perfect. Same quality, cheaper. You heard it here. He is.
There you go.
Endorsed by Aquarian.
Yeah. One day.
Cymbals. What do you use for cymbals?
Sabian cymbals.
Like no.
I've always used Sabian.
No metal, no.
Just Sabian cymbals. That's all I've ever used.
No.
Except I bought some heartbeat cymbals.
Okay.
Which is some Turkish cymbals, and I don't play them.
Well, I was gonna say, do you keep is your setup your pure Sabian when you're playing, and it's like I can't have anything else?
Yeah. I don't like mixing things. I like everything the same.
Okay, fair enough. I'm Zildjian, so I mean it's not a
big
deal. I'd love to get Sabian has their hand hammered with the raw bell.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to get one of those, like a ride for that.
Mm-hmm.
And you have this is your playing kit, like the main kit you play with 103 cubic inches, and then you have another kit too.
Yeah, that's my practice kit.
Okay. And
I have the silent stroke heads on there.
Oh, I want to talk about those actually. So for those people who don't know, silent stroke skins are they're more of like a matte, like a fiber. I don't know.
They're mesh.
They're mesh, yeah. And you replace the top skin, like the batter skin of your drum, with the skin, and it's supposed to be like 80% quieter or something like that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about those skins?
They're good for practice, but they're really bouncy, so they're really unrealistic. So you hit the drum and your stick goes flying up in the air, like whoa.
I know.
And then you get very confident with your speed going around the kit, like meow, meow. And then you go on your regular kit, it's not the same.
Yeah. I have found teaching off those, I did not enjoy them, especially I think they were okay for the snare, but the toms you could have just flattened them or something, just deaden them completely. Because the tone of the toms just dies. There's nothing left. The bass drum one's almost useless. You're just why is this even here? It doesn't. Pretty much the actual beat or the kick pedal of the bass drum makes more noise than the actual drum itself at that point. But I do agree they're so bouncy. You hit the stick into the trampoline. I actually had students drop their stick butt end down and bounce off. So I'm like, ugh, these skins.
So what I did with my kit at home, I put one of those little Kevlar patches on the kick drum.
Yeah.
And it helped a lot with the sound of it.
Oh yeah, those because definitely go ahead.
Yeah, you get the slap of the beater on the drum too, so it almost sounds like a real bass drum. Doesn't feel the same.
Right. Yeah, and even the bass drum one, it's bouncy too, right? You hit it and the beater goes boop. It bounce it can't stay solid. So sometimes it sounds like you're getting a double bounce off the bass drum, which how do you do that? Normally you can't do that.
Yeah.
Rob is asking, do you find the same brand cymbals resonate better, overtones sync? Much like family member voice blends, but together better. What do you think?
What was that?
Just do you find that the same brand of cymbals resonate better? Let's just go with that.
Uh, yeah, I guess so. Like you can find matching pairs that go
Right.
at different frequencies, and I don't know, but you can also buy a completely different cymbal than the rest of the cymbals and it would just sound completely different.
Yeah, that's the one thing I find it as playing like every instrument that exists or something. I find that sometimes you can play, you play one guitar, same model, you go to a different store, it'll be a different guitar. Like you'll
Yeah.
play and it'll sound different. I think cymbals can be the same way. You can find two cymbals manufactured exactly the same way, but they'll for some reason there's something weird that just makes them sound different.
Yeah, they're just a different symbol.
And that's why you get weird drummers like that will go into like Long McQuaid's cymbal room and sit there for a while and just hit cymbals and like see what overtones they like.
Mm-hmm.
It's That's almost a word too. Like you almost want to bring some of your cymbals with you just to see where they'd match. 'Cause sometimes you go
Yeah.
off what's in your head, but like you can play like a. I'd love to get like a Zildjian Dark Crash, and yeah, I've heard a few different ones, and they can be so different, even based on generation, like when they were made too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so it's definitely it's any music thing. Sometimes it's just what your ear hears, and as a drummer, your ear might be tuned different or trained differently to hear things than say a vocalist or we know what we like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Exactly.
we know what we like.
Yeah.
Um, but definitely there are times you can get like there are cymbal sets, right? You're like the first I had B8 Sabian B8s first cymbals I got.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have Zildjian Navita cymbals, and those were a set, but they're a decent set, and they match pretty well. But now I've newer B8s, like the B8s I got, I picked up back in like when I first got my drums were like 2000, somewhere in there, like early 2000s. The newer ones seem more tinny or something. I don't know what they changed, but it was like a few years later, it was just like, what did they do these? They sound weird. Like the newer ones sounded weird. I don't know.
And they were a different color back then, weren't they? They were like a copper color.
Yeah, they were almost more bronzy. Like the newer ones are more
Yeah.
yellow and flat. Like there aren't
Yeah.
as many.
So they must have just changed the material.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's strange. Maybe you can answer this. I was trying to remember this with Dan. What are those cymbals called? I think it's Sabian who does them. They do where they kind of refurbish them. Do you know what those are called? Do you know what I'm talking about? They really
Yes.
recast them. And...
SR2s or something.
Yeah, and so they
They're-
Go ahead.
They have like the scoring on top of the cymbal.
Yeah.
So it's like really rough.
Well, yeah, and they're apparently older. They could be any cymbal, right? Like a hand-hammered cymbal, like the high-end stuff. It could be whatever stuff that was used in trade shows, and then they just reforged them. Let's say that. Let's use that word.
Yeah, and they just sell them for cheaper.
Yeah. I've tried a few, and I'm like, I don't know. Have you tried them at all?
I've never bought them, but I've played them. I think Martha's had them. Didn't they?
Yeah, I think they still do.
Yeah, I didn't like the look of them, to be honest.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah.
And they just weren't. I don't like the idea of a grab bag, where it's like I got a cymbal and this could have been a better cymbal, or it was a worse cymbal. I don't like that idea. It's a good selling point, but I want something that I know is like that sounds good, right?
Yeah.
Sitting there using your ear, like tuning, you're gonna use your ear to figure out what you like. It isn't necessarily about what the other people like. Like you can ask for advice too. Like this is one thing. You have to like what you're playing, and I think that's important for drummers. Like if you're playing a garbage kit, and sometimes you have to get used to that because you go to a jam or something and the kit isn't what you're used to. You just have to like what you're playing, or else you're not going to want to hit the thing.
Yeah, that's true. And you don't feel inspired.
Yeah, totally. I think the funniest example I have is one time I was playing a drum kit, and the floor tom was tuned higher than one of the rack toms. And I hit it once, and I'm like, I'm not hitting that drum again, ever. I'm not hitting that again.
Yeah.
Like,
it's funny.
It's so weird how, you have to get used to these things. And like, people are like, I'm left-handed. Can you switch the drum kit? It's like, that's going to take some time. You got to be prepared for the kid you're sitting down is going to be right-handed, is going to have issues. So.
Yeah, that's true.
So, outside of drumming, we're going to come back to that in a bit, but outside of drumming, what do you do? What do you do for life and living and
for life?
Yeah, because musicians don't make money anymore. So
yeah, that's true. I'm a machinist, journeyman machinist.
Yeah.
So that's my day job.
And are you still in Wetaskiwin for that?
Nope, I'm at Highmark Machine.
Okay.
It's just outside of Kingman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's your day job. What do you like? You mentioned before you went to work out before and you have your own home gym because the gyms are all closed.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to do. Stay healthy. I always say that. Stay healthy. I go for
stay healthy.
Yeah. Keep moving because man, we got to keep moving.
I work out so I can eat pizza.
That's actually
because everybody loves pizza, right?
Well, it's barbecue season too. Come on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And is there anything else like outside of music, outside of work? Is there anything other hobbies you have?
No, that's it. I work out. I'm a machinist, and I play drums.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like, I mean, that's a solid thing. I wish I had more of a focused reality with that, because when it even comes to music, it's like I play drums and bass and guitar. There's a list.
I own a bass guitar, but it's more of a showpiece. I have ambition to learn it one day, but it's sitting until then.
Do you even have an amp for it though?
No.
See, that's
I don't even know how to tune it.
Oh, I mean, it's just EADG if you really want. Same top four strings of guitar. Okay, so let's go back then. I want to talk about, we're going to show your clip of what you sent. You recorded this. This is an original song by you and, well, I'll let you talk about it.
This is a song written by myself, Dawson, Farn, and Andy Johnston. He came up with a melody that was completely different than what we had, because this song's a lot older than what I don't know. It's a pretty old song. It's like 8 years old.
Okay. And
there was lyrics for it that are different now. It's hard to explain.
That's okay. And so like, there's no title for it. I just, in the description, I put Untitled. But this is, you just recorded this week just to show off your skills, right?
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so this is Whatever by a few people, including Tom. Okay, here we go. And if there's problems with the audio, let me know right away, because I'm trying a different setup for the video playing. If it doesn't work, I have a backup.
Got a flame.
Okay, so that was the clip. Hopefully everyone heard the audio because I don't know if you did. Anyhow, so that was an original. You were covering the drum parts. Now, how many originals then have you guys done total ever?
With what band?
With what band? That's a good question. How many did you do with City of Strays?
Oh, I don't know, 10 or 15. Quite a few. There's a lot that I need to record still.
Okay.
And I plan on recording.
Okay. And have you done any with 103 Cublic Inches at all?
About 15.
Okay.
Quite a few, yeah. We have an album on Spotify.
Right. And that was, you guys had that concert too.
Yeah, the Bailey.
That was back in before everyone got locked away.
That was January 25th, I think, or 26th.
Somewhere in there, yeah. And so that's on Spotify? That album for 103? Okay. Cool. And is that mostly, like, is that all originals then?
That's originals, yeah.
Okay, cool. When did you guys record that?
October, maybe.
Okay. Who did the recording for you? Who produced it?
We went to Mamuel. There's a little recording studio there with Miles Jackson.
Okay. Nice.
And most of it was like live off the floor, and then just recorded whatever we needed on top of it.
Okay. That's Spotify. I should put a link to that.
You could.
I will.
You should.
I will, because this is we are lower on time, so this is essentially like, if you have anything you want to promote at this point, go ahead. Bam. You can like say anything you want. It's like, buy my t-shirts if you have t-shirts.
We have some t-shirts if you want to buy them.
You actually do have t-shirts?
Yeah. We have some CDs too. I think we got about 10 left.
Oh, you guys print CDs? Weird.
Yeah. What?
What's
That's not a thing anymore?
So it's on Spotify.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna find that while we're doing this nonsense. And is it just under 103?
103 cubic inches, yeah.
Do you guys say 103 cubic inches, or what do you say?
I don't know. It's different every time. Whatever comes out of your mouth, I don't know. 103 sounds good.
Copy artist link. Cool. So I'm going to put that down on the description here. Just under all the other things on your Instagram. Yeah. So that'll take you to it's now in the description if people want to see that. Hopefully that's the right one. Yeah, that's you. I don't think there's many people called that.
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay, so that's there now. And do you guys have any idea of when you'll start performing again, or right now it's just?
We have some shows like in the works, but we're not sure if they're going to go through.
Right.
Like we're supposed to play July 11th in Sunnybrook, and I don't know. We'll see if that happens. And then we're planning on doing a show in August.
Okay. Hopefully
we'll see. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's hopeful, but I mean, there's still, we have to keep moving, right? Like we have to figure something out to keep going. Because as much as I don't think there's going to be a big bang for coming about things, I think like as many performances that can go on when we get out would be good. Like people just go out and do stuff. I am seeing, like yesterday I went for a constitutional with my dog, and like around the lake and stuff here in town, people are out and about. Like they're doing
there's lots of people.
Yeah. And they're social distancing isn't being observed. So I don't know what the deal is. Well, I guess we have to go day to day on this, but let's go. They have a few things now. You mentioned that you're talking about doing a live stream band studio concert.
Yeah, it's up in the air. We were thinking about it, but I guess we'll see if I get all the sound right. I'm gonna need some help with the sound, Steve.
I mean, I'd be willing to help.
So help me out.
I'd be willing to if you guys need help with streaming, because that's what I kind of used to do. I set up streams in a few places. So way back before it was cool.
Way before. Yeah.
Well, I set it up at like the church I worked for and stuff, and way back. So before internet infrastructure was even decent enough for it. Yeah. So I mean, I'm always willing to help with stuff like that because I think performances are cool. You might have to put up some, if you're doing it from there, you might have to put up some sound panels so you don't kill people, but
yes. Well, we have some couches in here. We could set them up, stand them up against the wall or something.
Well, I mean, if you got, honestly, the one thing I'm looking at are getting some solid, heavy blackout drapes. And I think if you put some, like, line the walls even a bit with them, if you could, just heavy fabric, you'd probably,
it would
behind
make a huge
you for sure. But
yeah. Well, to my right here, there's another big concrete wall, and straight ahead of me, there's a concrete wall.
Yeah.
And then to the left is this drywall.
Yeah, it's just trying to reduce, like, if you guys are jamming in a smaller, like, condensed space, it's probably easier. You could separate it too with, like, a clothing blind or something just to...
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see that. So, all right. So if anyone has any questions while we're finishing up here, they can drop them in the thing. Otherwise, we're going to kind of close out here. I want to thank Thomas again for coming on. And
thanks for having me.
I mean, it's still a work in progress, trying to figure these things out. Hopefully the video worked. If it didn't, nobody's yelling at me. I'm not seeing my sound person on my phone. I'm not seeing anything in the chat saying that there was issues with sound. I'll check with them after. But thanks for coming on. And hopefully we can get some stuff going where we can jam even. I have a garage where I can set up my baby drum kit. Not the big one.
Nice.
Whatever. Video worked. Good. Thanks, Rob. Perfect.
That's awesome.
So next week I have on Leslie and I. So she's with the Bailey Theater and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so I'm excited for that one. Oh, now I'm getting there. I called people out. Now they're okay. They're like, it worked. But yeah, she's like a busy person, and she'll be coming on next week. Maybe not the exact same time, but she'll be on. And if anyone listening, if anyone sees this later on in the VOD after this will be up for viewing pleasure. People later on. If you know someone or anything, because I'm getting in contact with people slowly. Like I'll do like 4 or 5 people at a time, trying to organize things. But if you know people who are interested, they can get in touch with me. And just send me a message to my email, stephenhartmanmusic@gmail.com. Wow. Stephen, Steven hartmanmusic@gmail.com. Yeah. Or you can go to my website and contact me through there, or Facebook, all the things. Anything you want to say before we get out of here, Thomas?
No, that's it.
No? Well,
yeah.
Again, thanks so much. And
thanks for...
Go ahead.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
It's my first interview.
Yay! And yeah, hopefully everyone stays safe. I'll probably go for a run in the rain. I don't know. That might kill me. I'll get pneumonia and then not be able to do it. Well, we're isolated anyway. But everyone stay safe. Get your exercise so you can eat your pizza and barbecue. Get some fresh air. And yeah, just try to stay as sane as you can. Like, I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And I try to keep this very, like, these interviews, I try to keep very away from politics and things. But I just want, I want to keep it, people need to be safe. And yeah. So I'm just going to leave it at that because, again, I don't want to get too crazy about things. So see y'all next time. And yeah. Bye.